Now traveling to the south. Initiating match.
Alrighty, everybody, welcome back here to the Valhalla Esports League. We are here in our Overwatch Division 1 for the Spring 26 season, here with the side of Lancaster up against Central Union here in week number 5. Currently have our teams struggling a little bit here at the middle of the table. Central Union currently 2-2, Lancaster 1-3, as we'll wait to see how they do against each other. Game 1 here, we're heading over to Busan. I'm Colonel, as always, joined today by Chubbs. How is it going, my friend?
Fantastic, brother. It's going to be an exciting one. My first cast here for Valhalla, and, well, it's going to be an interesting one as, of course, the SpartanWatch versus LHS. As you talked about it, they're already in the middle of the pack, and we can see some of the comps already coming out from both sides of the team. LHS looking like they're going to be running a very nice brawl here, and I want to see their opening break. Opening breaks are so important with this. Of course, the Orisa, man, it's going to be fun. The Freakiest on Orisa. Double Orisa matchup here, and it's going to be a fun one.
I know, so yeah, we did see Central Union 3 weeks ago. They got taken down by the side of Centennial, but they are back here looking to get some revenge on stream up against their current opponents here. It's the first fight for the moment, staying pretty stable. Reaper, that's going to be Drift, staying alive on the side, but unfortunately against 2, won't live forever. Salmon Bear goes down as well here, as we'll see for the moment what Central Union wants to do here. Just going to be backing away for the moment. VHEL on the Ashe, pretty low HP, but not going to be too big of a problem here. Doggo on the Wu Yang will be able to back up as well. Get it back to safety here is not away. Waits for the respawns from their team before going back in here, but very interesting here. Orisa Mirror with a break pickup for that side of LHS. Definitely helped them a little bit on that Reaper peel in the first fight, but we'll have to wait and see. As Reaper teleporting backline here, trying to get in it. You can see him on the right side of the screen there, diving in 1v4 basically, trying to do something here. Goes out of the raid for him, almost gets Kakyoi, but will end up going down to that Sojourn Railgun, and now 4v5 here. Bit of a struggle. The Orisa trying to get something done, not away. Almost going to get thrown off the map. Able to stay alive for just a moment. Gets the mirror kill onto the Freakiest, and he stays alive here. Not away has so much support right now. Fortify comes out, keep him alive a little bit longer, and a really nice job on this fight here by Central Union. They get the flip at 43% and pick up basically a team kill.
Absolutely, we're running it down. You can see Notaway, real good supports on behind their back, right? I mean, just able to run in, and of course that space making by Drifts. I mean, it just allows you to take control of this hill here. Now, of course, first round out. I mean, 43% to your name. That is indeed a lead, but you can't be reliant on it too far and heavy. You see SpartanWatch trying to give a little couple pop shots onto this Orisa. The Freakiest gonna have to be a little bit worried about how low they're getting. Again, one headshot from an Ashe can absolutely take away everything from you. You got to be a little bit careful about it. But backing up, I'm gonna be rounding about. Freakiest leading the team over here, and LHS going to be attacking from the right side of things. Ultimate is ready here for Notaway. Now, of course, Ana ulted and boosted up, and the ultimate does come in. Wait a second, it's all grouped up, but I don't think you're going to be able to spawn back, as another ultimate responds back from the Freakiest, gets it out, and LHS here going to probably take control of the hill.
Yeah, very aggressive there. We popped the title surge onto the Orisa there with the Wu Yang as Doggo just leads the charge. Notaway goes in, starts a Terra Surge, but unfortunately can't really stay there and hold it for too long. Gets forced off. Freakiest ends up charging his own ultimate there on the Orisa Mirror a little bit longer, able to finish up that kill on Notaway, and they do flip the point for it. 50% to both teams, but it is Lancaster who are counting here, as we'll wait to see Drift here. Going aggro once again, a very deep shadow step, has been pushing himself into the depths of these backlines. The entire day so far. Kakyoy, though, goes down early. Some nice shooting by Ash. Chicharron to get taken down as well. They will get the Kitsu off before they die, but not really able to play on it. Snotty Waddy trying to move over here on that Deadeye, but won't find too much with the castle. Freakiest goes down. He'll get picked up here as the flip comes through. 72% for LHS, but CUHS, a lot of time to catch up here as they get a nice pick on Neko.
It's pretty much neck and neck here for CUHS and LHS, right? It's back and forth with it. You can see the ult usage, right? Every single time that there's a fight, somebody has an ultimate ready to go, and we'll see how the Freakiest responds back with it. 50% away from there as well, but only on their team. We do have a Soldier on ultimate ready for it up. It's Kakyoy, but going through the left side, gonna rerounding it back again to hit once more. 20% away from this, calling maybe overtime here, but gonna have to back up real quickly. Like I said, these Ash headshots, real good damage based onto your tank. They do know that there is a Reaper on the backside of things. Gonna try to chase it down though. Could not get drifts. Now front push and don't get there just in time. 93%. The time is only taken away. Colonel, what are they gonna do?
Okay, Drift just gets a big blossom here, gets 2 with it. Doggo picks up 2, and unfortunately, Snotty Waddy not gonna find too much there. The 1v5 on Cass. Really nicely done, though. They keep them pinned to the outside for so long there, and eventually you see the percent, you hear it ticking and ticking. You have to just try and run through, or you're gonna lose the round before you can even take a fight, but unfortunately, the position there just not good enough for the side of LHS to stabilize and get themselves back into it. So it is gonna be the first point going over to CUHS. But a very, very, very back and forth first round, especially considering some of the matchups we've seen in the past here. Definitely sets a bit of an interesting tone for the rest of the day as, again, very, very nice close competition there on the first point.
Yeah, that's a lot of fun, that first out round. And as we move on more into Busan, Doggo, another player I'd really like to highlight here, right? As a Wuyong, you're not only supporting, you're doing a lot of that poke damage here with VHEL in the backline of things, while Nottoway is, of course, making that space. You have to be careful with these long-range comps, man, right? If you're going to be running Brawl, you're going to have to try to poke away. As you see, Freakiest switching it off into the Sigma, and a very interesting, of course, comps are now looking a little bit more similar, but over here on the right side of things, the fights are going to be coming out. Freakiest taking on a little bit of damage, same with Nottoway. Gonna have to back up real quickly, play around this corner, such a strong position to be in, but we'll see how LHS Varsity pushes forward with their tank. And the Freakiest again, Chicharron's in the backside of things. Kakyoy finds a kill and still pushes up on some things here. Freakiest looking for a pick, maybe a good rock. Does get Doggo on the backside, gets the kill, and now they're going to be able to take this side.
And yeah, Drift tries to shut his step in here. Don't think he has the Wraith form. I definitely think this Reaper pick has been struggling a little bit. Drift has definitely been turning some heads, but unfortunately outside of that Blossom and maybe an extra kill or 2 here or there, definitely been a bit of a struggle here. He's even being out damaged by Doggo here, who having a great game by all means, but definitely a bit of a struggle right now for the DPS of CUHS. But we'll see if they're able to break in now. It's going to be a D.Va pickup here, very strong in the current meta. Obviously been hit by a little bit of patch, but we'll wait and see for the moment. Doggo going to get the nice shot here onto Kakyoy. Is not away, hit by the rock, but is able to back away pretty safely. D.Va, so much armor to work with, able to just go wherever they want. Kiriko has to jump in. The Reaper, though, playing nicely with this D.Va now, as we'll see Snotty Waddy, Neko both going to get dropped up. Freakiest going to get taken out, Chicharron taken out, and I definitely think that this pick here will favor things like this Reaper a little bit more. That D.Va always happy to go in. As long as you stay in your mech, it does not matter how much HP you have, so you can really go wherever you want here. As we'll wait and see for the moment. Drift just hiding out in the corner here, very close to that Death Blossom, but I doubt he'll go for anything like 2 shots into that ult, so we'll have to wait and see here. Just get it founded backs off.
Yeah, gonna have to back up real quickly there. Doggo, of course, on the back line of things, gonna try to get this Wuyong battle, and you can see it, the damage on the back line, really scary here. As these supports, they know that they're gonna be the #1 target when the team fights come out, but you see the ultimate, oh, there is a lot of things coming out. Sigma gets the ultimate off, but they kill him before he can even get anything off here. Now CUHS gets to run down the entire team. No tank, no frontline for you here, just nothing but chaos and pure bloodshed.
And yeah, really nice there, obviously. They throw the Orbital Ray out, the Grav Flux comes out. Not sure if either were in reaction to the other, or if they were just thrown at similar times there, but obviously ends up working out a little bit better for that Orbital Ray here, but 8 ultimates available now, essentially. We'll give Kakyoy that 7% credit here. We'll wait and see which way it goes here. Rock hits onto the D.Va, but Freaky is going to be the one who really loses the majority of his HP there, as again, just playing very slow here. Bob comes down, is going to slam through VHEL. Not going to be able to get that counter Bob off anything here, as we'll see for the moment. moment. Title goes down here. The D.Va taking a lot of damage. Does have self-destruct to work with, but is instead just going to fly around. And Bob actually gets the flip here. So really nice here as we'll see Nodaway pop that self-destruct back up. Goes for the remake. Salmonberry gets picked off though. And again, they lost the flip here. So Central Union don't have anything to fight for right now. They already have lost the point possession. Drift though in the back line able to take down Chicharron. He's half HP though, so can't fight too aggro. Neko lows and D-Mech comes through. He'll get picked up by the tidal wave. Snotty Waddy goes down. The Reaper able to find that shot on the close distance Ash. Nodaway finally goes down. The flip comes back through again. That Bob really stole about 30%. Central Union would be full capping by now if that Bob hadn't taken the point earlier. So bit of credit there to the side of Snotty, but Freakiest now maybe a little bit too far forward. Almost goes down, but his shield saves him for a little bit. 90% though, they have to go in. Hitsu comes in. Death Blossom available though. Keep an eye on Drift here. He's on a hard flank right now, waiting for the right target here. Focusing Snotty Waddy, who does find him. Bell now goes down early. Drift not going to get too much here. Blossom still being held, but tries to shadow step out to no avail. D.Va now really just needs to run away, wait for that Juno to get to safety, and then try and get out of there with your support. So they will simply back away here. 70% for Lancaster gives them a bit of time to work with.
Gotta be careful about holding on to some of these ultimates here, right, Drift? I mean, you gotta be looking for the big play, of course. Gotta find at least 2 picks, but when you're holding on to it, you're losing value and not getting as much as you want from some of these fights. But of course, only 1 fight left here remaining for CUHS, and this is where they want to try to push it and try to call the game. LHS now defending, trying to get on the front side of things, but another Sigma ultimate comes out here. The Freakiest, does he hear the music? Does it sing? Finds Juno. Salmonberry gets out, but not away. Lots of damage. Can't outview it. Can't outdo it. Oh no. Gotta back up. 2% on. They're gonna try to call OT here, but I don't think they're gonna be able to hold on tight. We do have Bob in on the front line of things. New tank is here. Neko now pushing it and shielding away. They are not taking any damage from this Bob. Snotty Waddy cleaning them up, and I think we may go game number 3 here. Control.
And yeah, definitely, truthfully, it's just too late on that Bob there. You have Bob at the start of that fight. Before any of that fight began, you're holding on to Bob. And while maybe it's not the first button your team needs to do, it definitely needs to be coming out before D.Va's getting demeched or any of your players are getting truly taken out here. So I definitely think a little bit too careful with the ultimates. And again, obviously, there have been some times where ultimates come out way too soon in the past couple of weeks and teams end up losing fights for it. But a little bit too much caution there. By the time you end up using the Bob, you're in a 2v5 basically. You don't really have supports to keep you going, so definitely a bit careful here. But there's going to be a full comp swap basically here for Central Union here, looking at Winston and Soldier coming in. So a bit of an interesting, still kind of leaning toward that dive obviously, but no, they're going to swap it up again. Ramatra going to look to play a little bit slower,
trying to get a little bit slower indeed. Now not away, of course, taking that space. The rollout is good coming in. Salmonberry, of course, on the backline things, and Doggo doing a lot of damage. Gonna try to keep up here, but a Zarya pick coming in from the Freakiest. Knows that you can eat up some of this damage, turn it into some more, and bubbles are going to be super useful here in damage mitigation, but pushing it up frontward, and they know CUHS back on the back line of things. They are looking down on the hill, but of course front line is too strong. The Soldier VHEL going to be eating away, feeding into that bubble actually just a little tad bit, so I have to be careful about it. On the right side of things though, they know that there are players potentially looking at them to flank, and you can see Nodaway actually running it down maybe here. Tanks are on the flip side of things, but first point is going to be taken by LHS. They're going to call it and get on, but of course high ground is there for CUHS. Going to see what they can play with. VHEL gets a kill on the Snotty Waddy. The aim is good, and aim is true from this young man here. Gonna punch it. Soldier 76. I mean, it's a good pick there. Fast reload is in, and there's only 2 players left. That's gonna be the hill there.
And yeah, it's a nice fight here. The one silver lining for LHS, they do at the very least get 12% on the point, but obviously not going to be the most meaningful percent the world has ever seen here, but maybe could come back later and be a massive bonus to them trying to pick up this map, as again, a lot of these control games we've seen over the past few weeks here in VHEL have gone 2-0, so definitely interested to see this advanced level of competition. Very close game between these two teams. We do see a swap over to the Zarya here, obviously, for a little bit for this side side of LHS. We'll see if it is able to find some value this go around, as they're trying to flip the point in the middle here. They have been trying this the whole time so far. They want to get percent wherever they can, and during this fight, they're going to be getting even more. Bubble comes out on themselves as the Ramattra ult form just runs through the back line here, but this comp just doesn't feel like it's it here. The break's going to get run through anytime that Ramattra comes near, so I'm curious to see maybe if Neko swaps it up. I think it definitely is called for the Ramattra. Really, the break shield is just completely meaningless to the side of Notaway right now, as it will get to 30%, technically grab the lead, but the flip comes through immediately. CUHS back on top.
They are ready for it once more. Ultimates in hand here for Notaway, and of course for VHEL just gotten it up, but they do have Rush, and of course Bob is ready to run it down, but a lot of damage coming on to Notaway. The SpartanWatch gonna have to be a little bit careful from spreading a 2 front-end ward. The Bob does come in, and like we said, gotta be a little bit careful on Hill already. Gonna probably lose this cap here, but wait a second, VHEL finds a pick. The 1v1ing Bob, gonna have to run away. Could not get there. Now still players, the satellite orbit is here and in. We'll see. Annihilation, are you ready to maybe use it? Gotta get a good shot, barely lives your life out, and they respond back with their own, and maybe a little bit too much of a commit there for Notaway. I don't think you needed to ult there at the end necessarily, but you'll take it, man, and that's a couple more percent, because, well, you have 3 teammates with ultimates ready just on the backside of things.
And yeah, I mean, again, we saw the same problem there. Rally comes out, but even for the break, no matter how big your shield is, Ramattra and M form just doesn't care. It goes through it. So they do finally make that swap. Better late than never here, as Neko did try and get that ult going here, but we'll see it for the moment here now. 70% to 40%. Snotty moves over to the Ombre. Very, very, very strong character in the current meta. Obviously extremely aim dependent, but if you can make it work, it definitely has the numbers to back it up here. Zarya grabs in. Salmon Barrett, Aaron, the side of VHEL, going to get grabbed in this here, but the Zarya alone, not able to actually get the execute. Salmon Barrett goes down, Notaway does get picked up after it as well. There's Doggo, so it will be one fight territory now for Central Union. They'll lose progress at 93, but still over half the point to go. Lancaster gonna need a very nice hold here.
This was so close coming in from CUHS, right? I mean, Notaway really committed that space, made sure that that Zarya was alone, but the Freakiest does find one in the end, and they do find 2 picks to go their way that fight. VHEL, now with Ultimate on the top side of things, know that you could probably potentially play off it if you get this high ground first. Gotta look for it, but a support does get a nice headshot. Chicharrones, good aim all around, but again, good aim from VHEL, responding back with his own. They're taking space on that front right side of things, and everyone is getting quite low. There is a Blossom in the backside of things, and there is a lot of damage from all of the CUHS, and look at the look at Notaway, just kind of stared Snotty Waddy down while he fell to his death. They have time, but I don't think they're going to be able to get back here when you have a Rom up close in person like this, going to try to get the OT. Boy. Does get it in time. Wait a second. I gonna be able to do anything off of it though. Doomfist, Tracer, all the fast characters are here. Even the Wu Yang in the back side of things does get the melee off. Notaway just absolutely demolishes every single buddy. CUHS take map and game number 1.
Yeah, definitely a little bit unfortunate there. You have to go for the touch, which leads to a suicidal play. Then you need the next players there, so you feel like you have to swap to the speed comp, go into that Doomfist, and unfortunately, while you get the touch, everything that comes after it is just so much more difficult. As we'll see, Notaway will probably be this old play of the game, yeah, just able to run through this backline here towards the end of the game. Snotty tries to stay stable, Neko trying to stay stable, but the Ramattra win ahead. Definitely a very tough competitor to follow, but we'll wait and see how it goes there. Obviously a very nice map number 1. As we move on, it'll be over to, of course, as always, our second map of the day. What do you think here in terms of map selection, Mr. Chubbs? Is there anywhere that you're thinking calls out to you, anywhere specific you might want to go in terms of map here for the side of this hybrid map?
Well, I'm looking at it. I mean, when you have Blizzard's World, Kings Row, right, or Midtown, I think you don't really want to go to necessarily these these corners that are kind of getting you up close and personal. Both these teams know how to get, don each other off, try to protect themselves, try to caution each other off, right? So I think Blizzard World might be out of the question. I'm looking
it's
more
Kings
at
Row. Wow,
it's Kings Row. Oh well, no one's surprised. No one's surprised. Hey, look, that's the best in my opinion out of all of them. Okay.
You get a
I'm
little
just
bit
saying.
tired of Kings Row at some point, truthfully.
It's
I've
so
really been enjoying
pretty.
in Collegiate right now with Nace. They actually don't have Kings Row in the map pool, so we've been getting a bit
Oh.
of interesting variety. But we're back here. We got Kings Row in the map pool, and that means 90% of the time, if not more, we'll be going there. As yeah, I mean, it's just not that surprising to see come out. As we'll wait and see here. Obviously, have to get the lobby fixed up. But what do you think here? Are we just gonna get more Ramatra from the side of CUHS, considering the map in the last one?
I mean, there's so much high angles to play off of here. If you're
Yeah.
going to be playing Ramatra, right, you're not going to be able to get on top of these kind of high ground areas where there's maybe potential DPS that are just going to try to poke away at you. So I'm not entirely sure. I do expect maybe that Diva to come back or potentially that Winston that they were hovering maybe near that beginning to try to get some of this dive comp running for yourself, especially on a map like Kings Row. But I'm not entirely sure. You know, Rom might be a good respawn back. They may be playing another shield character that, again, they're just trying to refute that damage, even if it's Brig or anybody that has it, like Sigma, right? So we could see potentially those three characters that I'm looking at. But I don't know, Colonel. Again, I think really some of the highlights is for these support players, man. They really
Yeah.
do play their lives out, and they are really trying to keep that team alive, especially Doggo with that Wu Yang. And again, we just didn't see much value, I think, from Neko in that break.
Yeah, I mean, again, obviously it got into a point where the composition, you played against the Ramatra for as long as you did, and it's just a character that truly that just does get hard countered there in that specific character matchup. Is we'll wait and see here again. I do think one of the interesting things to keep in mind, there are no character bans, so some of these players who do lean very heavily into their one or two characters, Doggo especially, I believe the last time we saw him in week 3 of the season, I think, basically played nothing but Wu Yang. His ranked profile is showing he plays basically nothing but Wu Yang, so obviously I expect to see people like him on their known characters, but I do definitely think it'll come down to exactly what some of these other players are swapping to. The tank's obviously going to be trying to keep it on to a stable matchup, even if it's not necessarily a hard winning matchup. I definitely think toward the end there, that third point just got a little bit out of control there for the side of LHS. The comp started to fall behind, and they had to make some changes, lost out on some perks. So I definitely think we'll see how it goes here on Kings Row. These Kings Row games in the past have been extreme toss-ups, so I'm curious to see which way it's going to end up falling.
No, that's the new thing kind of with this perk system, right? It's to come in with that anti-swap comp to make sure that you're really committed, but when you're hard countered, you know you have to switch it around. But it could come back to bite you in the end when the enemy team just has a little bit more kind of advantage to their state with 2 perks or 1 even. If they play that late into the game, it does work in their advantage. It's all about that timing and who breaks first and who's the first person to swap around. And especially with these tank players, right? I mean, you know that you're going to be playing rock, paper, scissors practically every single time. And it's a bit, you know, a little bit spooky, so do not worry, folks. We're gonna try to get the players up and loaded in, but we're gonna send it to a quick break. We'll be right back very, very shortly soon here with some more Overwatch gameplay.
Now entering King's Row. Initiating match.
Alrighty, we are back here on the streets of London here, ready to roll for map number 2. King's Row has, of course, been the selected map, as I feel is always the case with these VHEL lobbies. I don't think we've had a time this season where the hybrid map went somewhere else, but I could be misremembering. As we see our comps come through, it is going to be the defensive side. Ramatra Bastion alongside Cassidy, Brig, Kiriko with the opposition side of CUHS. Going in here, JQ Reaper cast with Alari Wu Yang. So definitely very interesting in a meta where support is Kiri Lucio versus Kiri Lucio almost every game at the top level. It's definitely interesting to see a little bit of variety here outside of it, only having one person on those characters.
You know, I like it. You know, there's definitely some variety, right? It gets a good kind of, you know, fresh breath of air. But when you have a comp like that, especially a heal comp like that, it's going to be a little bit hard to sustain yourself unless you have characters that can self-sustain, which of course they do with Drift and Nautaway. And we'll see how they do. The only player that I'm looking at is going to be VHEL. Going to definitely need some support in the back line of things. The freakiest on the front line. They know that they're going to have to play around this corner right here, and potentially with the Bastion on the back line. Going to have to destroy this healing pylon. There it goes. And now already down for what, about like 14 seconds, but Nautaway gets in there really quickly with JQ, excuse me, and what a fast one that was, and they just absolutely ran down LHS. CUHS,
could not even swap over to Reaper and get back to the fight in time. They won so quickly. Wow, that is a very clean first cap here. It's going to be about 40 seconds in.
I mean, I didn't even see like how fat, like the health bar just went away. Like the freaking just literally tried to walk past and just instantly decimated. But that is the power of this comp, right? You do have a lot of DPS, especially with your supports trying to help in the back line of things. Now, Freakiest, of course, on the front. And gonna try to get into form, getting ready. Oh, knows that there is a little sneaky tank here. Gonna try to run away. Not away. You can see jumping in fear for his life. But of course, backing up, and man, they have a lot of time to play with here. 5 minutes and a half practically, but Drift does get a pick in the back line now. Of course, Kiki gonna have to use that Suzu, and Freakiest left all alone. But Bastion, of course, here to support in the back line.
And yeah, this is definitely one of the things that we saw a lot with Drift in map 1. On a map like Busan, it didn't work as well, trying to take these odd flank angles, which end up just being shadow steps into the middle of nowhere, it feels like, trying to find a position to play. But on King's Row, there are back streets designed for this type of gameplay here, and able to make some good value out of it to help in that first fight. Stamina and Snotty get traded out here to start this next fight. Ramatra has to go into blocking immediately. So much front-loaded damage, and again, the Reaper, very strong in a situation like this. You just stop the Ramatra from being allowed to play, has to slow walk backwards and pray the healers get there in time, as we'll see Drift jump to the high ground once again here, trying to just farm up some ult charge. Blossom ready in just a moment here, so trying to make sure he can get that good to go. There we go. Tidal burst in. They're just going to send it here. Death Blossom down with the Tidal in. They will be the Bastion swapping over ult forms here. Nautaway going to get taken down by it. Unfortunately, didn't make that jump immediately, and no real movement tools on that character, so it will be the retreat coming out for the moment. Drift thinks he's in too rough of a situation, just goes for a pick, ends up getting picked himself, but not really trying to live there, I would make the assumption. Just looking to make a quick death happen. VHEL gets taken low, trying to run away the long side, but Alari able to keep them on their feet. Wu Yang now stuck out in the bookshop, but not going to be too much of a problem to get back to safety, as again, still 4 minutes on the clock with the thanks to that first very good push.
Yeah, that is a lot of time to still play with. If you're LHS Varsity, you're not exactly panicking, but you do know that you want to get this fast. The best time can get you possibly there. Of course, Snotty Waddy taking the high ground here. Ultimate is coming out, and we'll see where that is used. In this lane here, it is just so good, but I think some movement does get you out very, very quickly. Freakiest looking on the front, trying to see if there's anything coming around this corner. Does have form and ultimate in hand, and may, but that should have to back up. But oh no, not away. The purple is everywhere. No healing for you, as that is some beautiful couple ultimates coming out from LHS, and you can see they are right back where they just picked off and left off from. They are running it down, and the payload is moving.
And yeah, nicely done there. Obviously, the JQ gets a really good rampage through, harass everybody with that taking damage. Captive Sun comes off to, I guess, finish up what's left. Everybody had some HP left. The Captive Sun able to shut that down as Doggo. Some nice shots here around this corner. Hits 3, I think, there with one shot of the Jean-Wu staff, but we'll see for the moment, just backing up, stabilizing here, but look at the Tidal Burst coming up here. They used it last time with the Blossom, and now they're going to do the same play. Unfortunately, Blossom only halfway up, but Snotty Waddy's HP bar certainly not halfway up. The Death Blood, oh wow, Shadow Step tap, instant cancel, and Drift is going to get punished for that. I have to assume a misclick there. Either accidentally started or stopped it. He gets killed for it, but not going to be too big of a problem here. The cart's still moving ahead at full speed now. Almost 4 minutes on the clock. Bob could go to harass this right side. I actually think Vel probably should commit it here if they think Drift is back soon, which he is. We'll see Vel holding on to Bob here, waiting for the right time to throw it. Kitsune Rush comes out. Dynamite trying to harass Drift, backing away. Deadeye comes out now. I definitely think this Bob, once again, being held a little bit too long here. Mentioned it, the longer you hold some of these big ultimates, the less value they are. Or I suppose the more value you're wasting by not farming the next one. Nottoway gets picked off now, definitely too late here. So still plenty of time on the clock, though. Not a big deal.
I mean, yeah, it's not the biggest steal there. Vel still holding on to that bomb. They're getting ready for it. Berry does find a pick with Vel. I mean, hey, you know, the double sniper duo, right? They can get a couple picks off of it. Maybe that's where all of the damage went on to Freakiest earlier on in that beginning first fight. But, bombs away, and I don't think you're going to be able to do much from this. Berry does not get affected at all. Of course, movement does allow you to do anything. Not much value from this Bastion ult. Drift ready with ultimate once more, but no Wu Yong to respond back. But Freakiest going to go into form, chase down some of these players here, but they are ready for it. They are just tanking that damage. I mean, look at that. Nottoway is just practically eating away at it. They're just going to try to hold forward left click, but the damage is too much. Pushes forward as LHS Varsity. Where can you go except nowhere? Going back to spawn. No tank in sight.
Yeah, it was nice there by the side of the JQ there, right? You're playing melee, did a really good job keeping the bleed on as many people as they could for the healing, but unfortunately the JQ not going to end up being what they want to stick with. Would have been nice to see the one comp the whole time there, ignoring obviously against the one Reaper pick immediately in, but they do swap it over. They think it's the right play. There goes Bob here, going to go harass this Ramatra, and again, look at what it forces. You have to burn Nemesis and try and just run past it, but still gets taken down because obviously while Bob's there, nothing else is left as the Reaper Blossom comes out here. There goes down 1, 2, 3. Brig and Bastion in their spawn, trying to do what they can. Captive comes out, and that will be the capture here. 150 on the clock, 149 technically on that clock. It's a really good triple cap here, but obviously before the side of Central Union can worry about overtime, they have to try and stop a defense here, run a defensive here. Obviously gonna be having a pretty good chance of having the lead, at least looking to any future rounds of this map, but Lancaster gonna need to find that triple themselves.
Well, you know, that's something that we can talk about, right, with Lancaster and Vel's, you know, Bob hold. I mean, maybe you could have gotten a better time if you had committed it a little bit earlier, right? But a minute 49 is something that you can definitely be happy with. I mean, if your defense is good enough and you don't have to worry about it. Central Union High School now, though, gonna have to respond back with their own. There was that swap to Orisa at the end, but of course, it didn't really, you know, matter necessarily. But of course, Freakiest on the Malga, and what a character that character is, by the way. I mean, I just couldn't believe that when this character first came out, could not believe it was real, but nonetheless, a big man with 2 machine guns ready to run it down with that comp, and you can kind of see what they're kind of trying to go for. The Maywalls, of course, coming in from Snotty Waddy, and they're just going to try to delete anybody that's in front of it, and Nottoway now going to have to be a little bit worried about, of course, well, no longer, not Junker Queen, excuse me, but, you know, don't have to worry about that ROM just yet. Drift now gonna see where he's gonna have to go here. I know he's been on these flanks recently, and they're trying to clean up the kills that Salmonberry and Vel has been bringing on. Vel swapping it over to the Soldier, and the opening break coming out now. LHS Varsity, we'll see where they go with this. Malga is ready with both of them, and this right here is what you're gonna be scared about with the tank behind that Maywall, absolutely deleting, and oh my goodness, these supports are godlike, absolutely keeping him alive. Nottoway running it down to the back line now.
Nice find there by Drift here, as it will be the run into Nottoway, but this is definitely one of the important things to keep in mind with this matchup. We'll get back to it as we wait for the rest of the fight. Vel gets the pick here. Reaper getting some nice value here. Malga getting some healing off of him. Doesn't have that Wraith for him to get out, but Freakiest goes down, so it will be the first fight held, but this tank matchup is so odd. The Freakiest, in terms of melee fighting, definitely going to have the advantage on Malga, but the one thing you have to be scared of is Javelin Spin here. Basically just a game for this Malga comp, trying to force Javelin Spin out. Once it's gone, Malga can run in, the supports can hold the healing button on him, and Malga is literally invulnerable to damage for the next probably 12 seconds while that cardiac is going. Javelin Spin is on cooldown, but if you can't force that Javelin Spin, what just happened happens. and you just get bled out over time. And eventually on Mauga, you don't have a shield, you don't have a resistance, you don't have any real tools if you aren't doing damage to stay alive. As we'll see for the moment, the Mei trying to hold their own. The Mei wall comes down, not away, not going to find too much. No fortify, could try and go aggro here. The Blizzard now comes out. Drift will be able to stay stable, but not away goes out. VHEL goes out, so this should be the the first cap here. It won't be obviously a full triple cap, but we'll get the triple cap on the first point. Drift gets ran at here, not going to get the full connection. I think it's better to just die. Truthfully, if you're Drift, I think you should just die. The longer you get staggered here, the harder it is going to be to refight. Just for the Shadow Step gets taken down. 2:10 on the clock here, and without your Reaper, there's no world to try and fight a retake here. The cap comes through. Well done for the first point here of Lancaster. Oh, wow.
Lancaster, yeah, I mean, not as much time, right? But still in a very timely fashion. Ultimate out here for Kakyoy. And we'll see what he's going to be able to do with the high noon. Ready to run it down. And of course, aim is true coming in with Cassie. But can I say, not away, man, the aim is true with those spears. I just saw him hit like what 3 or 4 in a row. Speak about another one up there, and your Mei's getting murdered. But they're getting some support here in the back line, and still chasing it down. Not away, a little bit of an overstep here, a little bit of an overcommit, and you do lose some of your players. But there is some ultimates maybe coming out in the back line of things. And wow, yeah, 5 ultimates ready here for Lancaster High.
And yeah, the Freakiest now going to try and lead another charge forward. Wall comes out just to isolate Doggo. It's a nice wall there. He could have maybe moved backwards with that left shift to try and jump across, but definitely not going to be for too much there. As for the moment, just going to be buying a lot of space right now for Lancaster. They know where the time pressure is going to be. That, though, is an aggressive cage fight here in the side. They get the kills with it. The cage fight, by all means, okay, the Blizzard's too much. I thought the cage fight was
that's
aggressive.
a commit.
The Blizzard is a bit of a heavy commitment. They want to get this cap so they can try and work with a time advantage, but I think they would have been better off there waiting with that Blizzard. You're already, I mean, what was it? It was a 3v1 into an Alari stuck in cage. I really don't think we needed to see the Blizzard here, but swaps come through, not away to D.Va, Salmon Berry over to the Kiriko here, a little bit more standard of a current meta composition to try and deal with this Mauga. Freakiest pops the alternate for him here. That Cardiac is, we'll see him charge in. Death Blossom on the backside gets blocked away by several different defensive cooldowns. Nice survivability on the backside, but unfortunately it still buys time, which means Freakiest gets 4v1'd and does go out on the front line here, but they're not actually done with this fight yet. Despite losing their tank here, they're still pushing this cart as far forward as they can. Mauga obviously going to be able to run back pretty quickly, but I don't know that we should be seeing the Mauga. I'm kind of surprised not to see a swap here on this point against the D.Va. I feel like they might be better off with anything else, truthfully. The Mauga just can't heal into a D.Va.
Yeah, absolutely going to eat away all of those bullets. Not away knows that he could negate practically anything that they're trying to run, but Chicharrones finds a beautiful pick on VHEL here, but you can see right here, as I was talking about it, Freakies just can't get any healing running for himself unless you run into the back line. Fine, 2 supports here, maybe by themselves, going to heal each other, and now there's no support on the back line there for this D.Va player. Going to be left alone. Not away now, just can't do anything. They're trying to find some maybe here, but it's not gone yet. Where is Not away? Lives? What just happened?
He flies under the map there. There's a little spot you can fall off, and he goes under with the thrusters. Oh, there we go. Tac Visor comes out. VHEL gets stomped, and that will... Actually, it's a nice Suzu to keep them alive. Blizzard comes out now. It's a really well farm again, but self-destruct comes out. Freakiest is able to evade it, but he doesn't have healing. It's the same problem, right? He just doesn't have healing right now.
Oh my goodness.
Judo is doing the absolute Lord's work here. Neko keeps him alive for so long, but unfortunately it's still not going to be enough here. The Maywall does do great work again. Not away gets demech here. Stomp comes through. Not away should die. Cage fight now dropped just for the Kiriko. No escape for the side of Chicharron. Title Surge, though, drops onto it, and they actually lose the cage fight here. So I really do like that Wu Yangle just to keep that time. Again, you're playing a time game right now. Kiriko jumps over to keep the Mei alive. Snotty Waddy going to be looking to get himself out. Well, they don't know the Kiriko's here, so Kiri can just hide for Swift Step cooldown. Suzu to back away from the Reaper as the tank has returned. Goodbye, Salmon Berry. Crushed under the pounds of the 800 Maugas, as we'll see for the moment. Reaper gets out here. He gets the Shadow Step off, but there's really nowhere to go. Kitsune Rush comes down now, and again, this could be a time advantage for Lancaster if they close this off quickly. A couple of touches. If that D.Va can get on, they could stop this, but the Blizzard keeps D.Va off the point. Really nice by Snotty Waddy, who definitely takes my MVP of the round. That Mei performance, extremely good in both halves of that map.
I mean, when I see May absolutely dodge 3 Reaper shotgun blasts and then it freezes you and then you die, low-key, I'm not fighting that. I can't win. I low-key lost. I'm FFing. But beautiful plays coming out from both teams. Very timely manner for both, right? Lancaster, of course, does have a little bit of a disadvantage. Maybe what? Maybe like 10 to 11 to... I'm trying to do math. I'm not good at it anymore. Yeah, like more like 18 seconds-ish there that you do lose. And again, that could maybe be the difference for you there. You got to be careful about it. I mean, you put all your marbles in and maybe put all your chips in too early, but not away on a Doom. Hang on a second. Into a Sigma. This is really interesting. Like, the tanks have not stayed on, I believe, one tank for this entire game, right? I mean, they've been swapping it back and forth, and I love it. There's a hog. Hang on. Wait. Hold on.
Okay, I like Bastion Baptiste. I am one of the biggest supporters of Bastion Baptiste you will find in terms of high school and collegiate Overwatch. I love any comp with it. They swap off the Baptiste, which makes me a little sad. I was very shocked to see it.
You're excited?
You know what? I think
okay,
it's still better with the Baptiste here instead of the Wu Yang, but this is much more stable than that Roadhog comp they were thinking about running out with. Diva, Cass, Bad. No, they don't want the Cass. No, they do want the Cass.
No, they do want
Diva,
the Cass.
Cass, Bastion with Kiri, Wu Yang. An interesting attack, and again with 19 seconds. Nope, not always gone back to base. He does not want the Diva here. He sees something and he doesn't like it, and he wants the Sigma mirror as Boy goes down immediately. Your tank is back. You have a 5v4 now. They need to try and push this now.
Yeah, you have yourself some advantage state here. Not away. Gonna try to respond back. Says that he wants the Sigma diff here. Gonna try to eat away, of course. All Graviton surges and everything gonna be coming out, but you're gonna be walled off from your team, and you can't eat that right there. But the Suzu, what a beautiful Suzu coming in from Chicharrones. Gonna have to back up there looking at this main now. Croc is there, and a good combo there for Not Away. On the front word of things, they have capped the point within, what, 20-ish seconds? Now, me personally, I would put 3 on here, but they're gonna try to take space, actually, and just try to get an early up, maybe pick onto maybe Kakioi. I don't know. I would, again, 3 cap would I would ideally I would try to see here.
Yeah, it's definitely always an interesting one, especially in overtime when you know you're playing a time game. You don't expect a triple cap. You know you need to get speed, but at the same time, this arch is a trap. It has been a death place for so many teams here in VHEL. If you let the opponents hold the other side of this arch, they have been absolutely lethal at trying to hold it down. So it's not going to matter. Okay, the Mauga swap comes in, and it's not going to work on this first fight. So the next 20 or so seconds while that tank runs back here are going to be absolutely crucial. I think at this point, you should try and get 1 or 2 more picks, and then you go 3 on the cart just for that move speed. But they are going to go for Snotty Waddy here, and now they back away. I think Wu Yang should go get on the cart, maybe the Bastion as well, but they're going to keep trying to move it forward here. Again, obviously this cart staying stable. I definitely think the Wu Yang should be on it for that move speed right now, but they will be able to just stay alive, stay on their feet, and keep the cart rolling as they enter overtime here. Every extra meter is a very good gain here, as it will be up to their opposition to try and take the same distance on the next turn. VHEL just staying super far aggro now. The Wu Yang healing everybody up. Kiri pushing that cart as far as they can, trying to get that second cap. Bastional comes in, and they'd love a pick here. The Mauga just gonna stop VHEL. Blizzard comes out. Drift gonna go down here. Flux comes out as well, trying to stall on the backside. Not away, just being chaotic in the backside. Freakiest the stomp, not gonna find too much. Title comes out. Freakiest should go down here. Indeed he does. Bastion finds it with the nade. Now they chase Chicharron in a lot of danger here on the side. Is it going to go down? Surely the rock will secure it. So it's going to be a double cap here in overtime of a sudden death extra round. So this is very scary here for the side of Lancaster, because you know next round you get 2 minutes on the clock to make this same performance. And at this point, there are the ultimates in line. It shouldn't go too much farther than this, but if 1 or 2 crucial arrows come through here in this next fight, things could get even worse for Lancaster. Snotty Waddy dodges the rock for the moment. The fight's continuing to get dangerous. Orbital Ray comes out. It's going to be the kids today. There's Mauga runs in. Cardiac Overdrive comes out, and they are just slamming every ult down. This is what we expected when we saw the ults. We knew that that fight was going to be a steamroll unless something horrible happened, but what is horrible are Lancaster's outlooks here as a beautiful overtime round there for Central Union.
Yeah, Central Union finding themselves to a double cap here, and if you're looking at that, you're happy, right? That is a fantastic performance to get you there with what, basically a minute 40. Now, if you're on the flip side of things, man, Lancaster High, this is a nerve-wracking position to be in. Only 2 minutes here to play with. You got to play practically perfect Overwatch to try to break that opening point and get in there real quick and fast, but also hold it amongst all those corners and have every fight go your way. I mean, the more I say it out loud, it just sounds more and more impossible, right? But the Freakiest is gonna opt in to stay on the Mauga for LHS here. And again, I don't know, Colonel, do you think this is the call into a Sigma?
I think that picking Mauga here, again, I do think it's important to note there have been tank swaps basically every round, and so if you guess a swap's coming and you think the Mauga's the right answer to it, I can definitely respect it. The concern I have here, assuming they know it's the Sigma, because again, if you really are trying to play this game of tank swapping, you send a Widowmaker into the top window, and you wait to see a tank ability. You're going to see that Sigma shield, or you're going to even just see the Sigma themselves. So I do think if you are thinking about swapping your comp, you should be looking for info like that, but I think the Mauga has worked for them. There are times where it worked, obviously. They've been able to farm some ults well with it. Snotty Waddy had a great performance alongside it, but that's going to be a rough performance from Snotty Waddy here. He just gets shut down by the rocks. That Joy gets out mirrored as well here, and now it is a run game here. And the first fight, that time advantage they have has just been decimated here.
SpartanWatch feeling good about this, trying to get that defense in. LHS know that they're going to have to punch it and run it down here potentially soon. The Mauga just can't get any value off just quite yet. The healing is going to have to go for it. They're going to, again, only have maybe 2 fights here potentially to try to get back on this. And, well, if you try to hold OT this long, but wait a second, you lose yourself in a bomb from VHEL, and that is not good here for Lancaster High. They're going to have to back up very, very quickly. Notaway knows that this is a good spot to be in. A very, very fantastic position. Snotty Waddy also backing it up, but finds a pick on VHEL on that top side of things. So maybe a 5v4 coming up here if maybe he can get back in time, but that wall is fantastic. Finds Drift. Mauga now gonna run it down, but the rock stops you right in your place. Gonna eat away all of those bullets, and if the overheal comes in very, very quickly, but as much damage as there is being eaten, there is much being put out. SpartanWatch now getting back onto this. The rocks are good. Snotty Waddy, what can you do? The ultimate comes out. That's a commit and a half, and the Suzu as well, but nobody dies here on the good old CUHS. There we go. Finally, I was about to say, and they committed the May ult. Oh no!
Yeah, I think the LHS were just too aggressive there. They wanted to hold the Arch so badly that I feel like they forgot about what was before it, right? That Sigma never actually got killed, got taken down. Defensive wall has to come out. Suzu has to come out. They have to burn so much now. If they win this map, it'll probably be the greatest Overwatch comeback I've personally ever casted here. It is going to be a very tall task. It has to start with the first cap. Chicharon gets rocked into lethal. Deadeye comes out here, gets 1, gets 2. Kakyoy goes down. The Freakiest is in a nightmare now, and he's not going to be able to make it happen. I think you have to try and move over to the orbital ray there, but at the same time, I cannot fault somebody for not winning a 1v5 in that overtime sudden death clock. So definitely a little bit unfortunate there for LHS. Some key unfortunate pats there they took in that game. And obviously, Central Union played it fantastically here. We'll see Drift get this play of the game on the Cassidy. I'm curious exactly what it will go to. It's just going to go to this Deadeye at the very end. Gets credit on Chicharon, shoots for 1, shoots for 2, checks over in the spawn, makes sure they don't miss anybody behind, gets the kill on Freakiest here. So really nicely done here from the side of the SpartanWatch crew here, and they will step on up to 2-0. But I asked after the first game, and now I have to ask again, where do you think we are going? We've had Control, we've had Hybrid, which means we now move over to Flashpoint. New Junk City and Atlas going to be our 2 options. Is there a map that you expect or prefer?
You know, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm sorry, guys, but I don't play Flashpoint. I'm always voting against it. Like, it's just not my favorite mode. I have never even played on Atlas nor New Junk City. It's just like, guys, come on, man. Like, Flashpoint, like, it's not fun. We all know it's not fun. So no, I don't play Flashpoint. But that's embarrassing, guys. I have homework to do. I'm sorry.
2.5 years ago, by the way.
Yeah, great. I'm fantastic. Yeah,
August of 23, man. It's August of 23, man.
August of 23. But I mean, what are you kind of expecting from both these teams, right? I mean, you're gonna have to respond back if you are Lancaster. You are down 0-2, back against the wall. A million things to do practically here. Perfect Overwatch needs to come out. You need to win every single map after this. And well, the pools that are coming up, of course, are a little bit scary. Flashpoint with, of course, push and another mode that I don't play often, and of course another escort to end it out. Not escort, but you know, hybrid-ish. Havana and Watchpoint Gibraltar there at the ending. I just can't imagine it, right? I mean, I think the pacing has been so fantastic from CUHS that I just don't know what Lancaster can do here except try to switch things up.
And yeah, I'm curious to see exactly which way they will go. New Junk is going to be the map pick here. I truly don't think it matters, honestly. To me, both of these maps are the two Flashpoint maps that imbue a lot of chaos, a lot of weird movement, a lot of weird high grounds, low grounds, different elevation points to try and take fights from. So I think that either way, you're really playing on similar maps with similar strengths and weaknesses in terms of compositions, where obviously maybe a couple characters work better or worse on either a couple of points or one map or the other. I think Farah is the first one I think of. I see a lot of success with it on Atlas, but there's a lot of those inside, maybe lower ceiling points on New Junk where maybe doesn't have that same level of success, but obviously don't really expect to see a Farah, so shouldn't matter too much, obviously. But New Junk, it's the map they prefer. It's probably the map they have a little bit more practice on. Again, I don't personally think it matters too much, but we'll wait and see what the comps are going to be. Some of the times you see a little bit more distant comps taken, maybe with things like that Diva and Snipers, so maybe we'll get on it to a little bit more aggro. We've seen obviously a lot of Ramatra, JQ, maybe a little bit more standard. New Junk City very commonly features brawl teams, so I'm curious to see which way we'll go. We haven't seen Domina yet today. Domina has been a pretty powerful tank in the last few weeks since their release. Obviously, a couple of nerfs have hit them since then, but obviously still a very capable character, and haven't seen them come out quite yet in the midst seeing... I feel like we've seen most of the tanks now, no? I feel like we're only missing a few.
Yeah, pretty much every single one almost. Yeah, I mean, we run through the whole list, right?
We've seen Ball, have we?
At the end, I did. When they were trying to rush
it. Ball?
We did see a Ball.
I know we haven't seen Domina. I don't think we've seen Reinhardt played.
Not Reinhardt played, but we did see Hog hovered. Guys, we have a bingo list, basically, me and Colonel, right? And we're just trying to stamp off everything. We're waiting basically for Nodaway or Freakies to get on. We're waiting for, we're waiting for what? Roadhog? Fully Roadhog.
We saw Roadhog touched at the very least.
It was considered.
I can't remember. I know
we did see Winston. I do remember the Winston.
I don't think we've seen Hazard yet. I think Hazard's the
Hazard. I did forget about Hazard, and I don't think we're gonna see that. No, we're definitely not gonna see Hazard, guys. Definitely not gonna come. Maybe they might prove me wrong here in New Junk City. I mean, this is what he lives in here.
I think if Hazard's ever gonna get played, it's probably gonna be on Flashpoint, because it is just such an odd game mode where you truthfully just can play whatever you want to. I mean, obviously there are some comps that are maybe a little bit more standard, maybe function a little bit better, but on Flashpoint you really can play just whatever you want. As we do get our ready checks in the lobby here, hopefully we'll make sure that everybody can get themselves readied up before we head on into our third map of the day. And again, for the side of SpartanWatch here, if a good result ends this map here, they'll be able to take a clean sweep here, move themselves up 3-2 on the standings for this current season, where again, definitely have been a bit of domination. You have a few of those top teams currently undefeated still. I believe West High Vikings and West Texas Kraken are definitely some of those top teams right now, playing in some of the other matches right now. As we do get on in here, map number 3 on to New Junk City. We'll have to wait and see exactly what comps we're going with, but Chubbs, any final predictions here before we see them?
Nope. No, I'm kidding. Definitely, I think, of course, I don't think we're going to see that Malga again. I just don't think it worked out for them once more.
Oh, I'm ready for it.
I don't know. You're ready for it?
I mean, we could.
There's potential. Ready? That would have been your one prediction. There it is. It's again. Yeah, you're locked in. The Colonel's locked, okay? But
we're playing New Junk City. I actually fully expect Malga to come back out.
Gotta love it, man. Gotta love it. Nodaway, though, on the right. Hey, we got a big bingo. No, I'm kidding. But maybe back.
We're counting now. If we're counting the Roadhog, that Reinhardt hover there counts.
That Reinhardt has to count. Yeah, that counts for a little bit.
I know.
Basically, comes not switched up.
We played against the tank, and in one map, I want to say it was a game of Nepal. He played every single tank with the sole exception of Sigma. He played everything else. He would literally just swap after every fight. It was chaos.
Sigma dude, man.
As they swap over to the Doomfist.
Doomfist now on for Nodaway, of course, knows that they're going to have to dive in the backline very, very quickly and fast. Going to not try to commit here too much up front just quite yet, except the punch does go in. Freaky is already losing half the health now, and they're getting ready to run it down. They're waiting for a wall or something, but on the backline, Nodaway doesn't actually connect that punch, so it has to back away very, very quickly. The team is now going to have to commit here if you are the SpartanWatch. Gonna back up very, very quickly, though. Once more, the stomp is here. Freaky has to rise again, but a miss again from Nodaway. Gonna eat up all these bullets and ready to damage in the backline. The dive is quick and fast, but there goes Nodaway after taking out Chicharrones. Pushing it forward. LHS Varsity are probably going to take this one back very, very quickly, just as fast as Lancaster did.
Yeah, obviously nice start here to the game as we're getting a lot of this true chaos that you expect to see out of Flashpoint at this point. As Drift gets Kakyoi, gets traded out by Snotty Wadi, the DPS here going in and out of the spawn rooms. As we'll wait and see for the moment. The lead will officially get flipped here in favor of LHS as they will officially have that lead for the first time in the map. As now Salmon Berry trying to lead the charge here, stay in the air to make sure Nodaway stays healthy and secure. Oh, Cardiac Overdrive comes out. If we stay away from that Mauga, he's going to be very vulnerable in a little bit. Chicharrones goes down. Doomfist, nice dive. The Junos doing a really good job staying alive and on this top level of this map. Freakiest, though, trying to dive around. He gets taken out,
wow.
down, gets him and Snotty Wadi. Kakyoi touching just to secure a little bit more percent. It's Flashpoint. That one touch gave them an extra 5 or 6%. 69% on the scoreboard now is 35 and counting for the CUHS.
I mean, Nodaway, right? I mean, the whole goal for him is to try to convert the Freakiest's damage into something, right? Whether it be just eating it with D.Va, or whether it be, you know, with the Zarya bubbles even in the later on, maybe potentially. But this is a pick that maybe potentially could work out for you in the later run side of things. Gonna try to dive in the backline, again, converting all this damage into a little bit more success for yourself there. Pushes him just away as well. But we do hear a May ultimate coming in the backline. Blizzard is here. Gonna try to knock onto a couple things, but SpartanWatch, I mean, not SpartanWatch, Nodaway jumps into it willingly. You do lose 2 teammates, and the Flashpoint is gonna go straight towards the way of LHS, and they are feeling good here. SpartanWatch now has catch back up very, very quickly, and not enough time to do it, I don't think.
Yeah. A touch could technically happen here if they really wanted. They do actually get the touch in the back end here.
Not there, they ulted, hang on.
Comes down. I didn't expect to see the touch come through. I assumed it was a lost point, but they're going to go for it here. Bell and Kakyoi get traded. Doggo low HP. That title is available. Needs to decide if and when he's going to use it here. Cage fight misses. Nobody going to get grabbed by it. Sam comes back down. He goes into the cage. Not away. Just hide from it, my friend, as he is going to get taken down to it. I definitely think jumping through that cage was not the best play possible, but it's gonna be what happened, and unfortunately they do get team killed for it. They do all go down at once with the exception of VHEL. Don't get that lovely team kill chime, but we do get that first point over to LHS here, so definitely nice for them. Obviously they've shown in both control and hybrid they are at a respectable level. They've been able to fight back with the side of CUHS, but haven't been able to take a map to prove it quite yet, so I definitely think it's interesting to see if they will be able to strike back, start a reverse sweep here, or if CUHS will stabilize in the later portions of Flashpoint here and get back into it. Snotty Wadi holding out, wall comes down, Nodaway in danger, rock slams down, Mauga runs in. Unfortunately, it's really easy for them to move around here and regroup. Kakyoi just drops the Blossom, but he jumps into a pit immediately after. He is fortunately still going to get VHEL with it. The kill technically goes to Mauga, but the Blossom did most of the work there. Snotty goes down as well. The Mauga in a very aggro position. Pulse Bomb gets Suzu. Really nicely done there by Chicharrones. This guy's a Kiriko player, and he absolutely shows it there. Really nicely done there.
I was gonna say, guys, the hill had been open for quite a while now, maybe like 20 seconds. So they finally turn around and say, "Wait a second, we gotta get that there." And they do.
A full tap they've been lost
yeah, practically, but right back as it ends, SpartanWatch finds themselves right back into the hill, and well, maybe that 20 seconds might actually hurt you if you didn't tap it out immediately. So they get it back, and that might be practically 30 to 40% already free for them here to play off of, and. Yeah, I mean, those first fights were maybe just ult farming from both teams there. That's really funny, though. I love that.
Yeah, they got to point. VHEL went turret form on the high ground and literally just held left click and looked around, and that was enough for them to turn it. That is, I mean, that's what Bastion does, right? Sometimes you put a pocket support with him, sometimes you let him go on his own, and he just does DPS. He's basically the highest DPS character in the game for a reason. Obviously, like a Widow headshot is technically higher DPS, but you get the point here. As the Freakiest runs over the bridge here, they stay alive for a little bit, but unfortunately, it's not going to last for too long. Not away, and Bell join the gray screen here. We'll see where they lose the point at 56% for CUHS. Lancaster just now getting past that 40% marker.
I mean, I just want to say, I just saw Snotty wall off the Sigma. I mean, granted, I did think that Nodaway kind of walked forward after the wall came up, but a very smart play coming out. I mean, you just know I would have went. This is the small things that the players are doing that matters the most, right? It's the Suzus, it's the walls, it's everything, it's all the util that is coming out at once. And you can see Kakayoi trying to push up, make a little bit of space. I think the Freakiest knows that the ultimate is coming up here very shortly. Looking on, making sure that both fronts of the ends, not fighting a two-front war, but Orbit is here, and there is a lot of damage. Actually, our counter one, but the Tracer ultimate finds Freakiest, and now they lose their tank, and LHS in a bad position here, unless SpartanWatch can respond back maybe with their own here. Yeah, no, they're just gonna get on this, try to recap it once more and hold it for the remainder of the 46 or 44%.
Oh, wow.
Oh, no, shut that down. No, that's not happening here, he says. Nodaway does not let that happen, but they're feeding it in. It's a conga line of players here, and they gotta be a little bit careful. Still, OT being held.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay, yeah, I was gonna say I started to see him fly around in the direction of the stomp there, and that was not the direction you probably want. Oh, okay, stay on the point there. They got off for a dangerous time there, but they get back to it. Dago was behind as well to get that touch. 60% now counting for CUHS here. Again, they lead the map, the series 2-0, but still yet to find their first bit of success on this map in terms of scored results. As we'll wait and see here. It's one fight territory now for the side of Lancaster. 80% now on the clock. Bastion has ult. Sigma has ult. May and Akiri, though, on the other side, holding on to theirs as well. Mauga thinking about it. He just has to go run for the stomp here. They want to take another fight here. Blizzard going to go in, but it doesn't find anything. Not what you want to see from Snotty Waddy here. Rough Blizzard find. Mavel does go down as the Mauga trying to stomp onto safety. Kitsy Rush comes out here. The Mauga needs to step back over to it. Doggo down, not away down. Drift CS drops the pulse bomb, but not going to find anything with it. So it is going to go 2-0 now for Lancaster here. Really nice start to this Flashpoint, able to rally back in a very rough situation. They started that fight not the greatest. The Blizzard didn't find much. Freakiest in a lot of danger, but they're able to stabilize, get it going once again here. Now, while they do trail 2-0 in the series, they lead 2-0 on the map.
Leading 2-0 on the map, and again, your comebacks are possible, folks. Reverse sweeps maybe could potentially be in. It's good to see that they are still fighting like it is game number one here. You never want to get that mental chow or that mental notice that you're down, right? So it is not affecting them at all. The Mauga is strong, and there is, I believe, a swap. Yeah, the Arissa now coming out for them. Sigma not calling it for Nodaway, but gonna back up very, very quickly here, as of course the holding, the left clicks and the right clicks from the Mauga, but the stun does so much damage. Backs up very, very quickly, tries to get some heals, but both your supports are down. No Neko, no Chicharrones here, and this is a bad spot to be in. They're gonna cap this out very, very quickly, and they win out first one. We'll see how LHS respond back to this.
And yeah, I'm kind of scared here. You noted at the start of that fight, talking about the side of Lancaster, you said reverse sweeps are possible. Unfortunately, while they're trying to get a BO5 reverse sweep in terms of the series score, it's the exact opposite for the side of CUHS. They're trying to turn a reverse sweep on Flashpoint here. We'll see if either side are able to find it. As again, it's a nice start to CUHS on that story. Kakui Wraithworm goes out here. He's able to get back to safety with it. Wall comes out, grabs Nodaway, just going to try and hide in the corner here, and again, nice wall by Snotty Waddy. He gets taken down, but he gets the tank for it, but unfortunately, Drift, that is exactly what you want to see from your Tracer. Double kill with the pulse bomb, takes Chicharrones, then Kakuyoi. Freakiest goes down to him as well, and well, that fight maybe started off poorly, trading Nodaway for a tank, for May isn't really the best in the world. Drift CS comes up huge here. He's been off and on today on the Reaper, but on the Tracer, at least in that fight, definitely the MVP, and they will secure their first point of the map for it.
Yeah, absolutely running it down, right? This is what Tracers do best, being in that backline, consistently getting rid of those supports, making a problem. And when everybody has to turn their heads in the front line, right, that gives that team more space to push up and potentially take you all down and sandwich you in. And again, Kakayoi immediately gonna back up because half your health is gone from Drift here and a heater that he is on. But we do see, I believe, double orbits coming in from Neko and Salmon Berry. Oh, a headshot comes in. Gonna have to play your life. Health packs are here, but there's still a bunch of fighting into the the hill and backing up very, very quickly. You see that they don't have their tank. SpartanWatch gonna have to back up very fast here.
And yeah, now we'll see the second point opening in about a second here. We'll see who does get that first possession. I think first possession, definitely something you have to consider is obviously you're getting all of that bonus progress during the opening fight here. We'll go over to the side of Lancaster. Kakyoy on this Reaper finally has his Blossom. We'll see if they can't find anything with it. He is found, which is the problem. That Blossom can't just get ripped here because they know you're here. And unfortunately, you're going to get executed for it. Freakiest charges in. Cage fight comes down. Javelin spin, but the cage not going to get broken here as Doggo now in a world of danger, trying to slide out. A little bit of a wave dashing here. We'll be able to get back to safety. A nice escape there for the Wuyong, but unfortunately the progress, it's Flashpoint. Again, as always, for a reason. These points are gone in a flash. 50% already in just one fight and reset 60% now.
60% remaining, only 40 left here to call the game, and they are holding strong here. LHS Varsity want to go game number 4, but if there's anybody to say anything about it, it is Central Union High School. Oh, wait a second. This is a lot of damage. You're not going to be able to negate any of that nor out heal any of that. Freakiest are here. They could hold it, man. This is game number maybe 4 potentially coming up if they just keep holding strong. With what they're doing right now. Oh my goodness, he's going. He's flying. Oh, the Juno's there.
Over it. They get the Tracer to touch, and look at the ball.
We got a ball. We completed our list. Now we just need Hazard.
They need to get this fight here. Chicharron staying stable. Death Blossom comes out, and they're going to take it. Now it's over. This map is over. Surely not. No.
Surely not. Surely not. No.
Freakiest tries to stabilize it, but he's in a 1v4 now. It's going to be the Cardiac. He's just taken out here. If I'm them, I'm sending ball back to spawn, and he's swapping to Orisa right now. Truthfully, he should be going back to spawn. Go back to the Orisa here, but they're going to stay on the ball for the moment. He did get his first perk, so it's not like you're in a crazy big disadvantage in perks, but I just think the ball is not what you want to be playing into this comp, but maybe there is a positive outlook on it, right? If we're playing ball, whenever Mauga pops Cardiac, have him get back in hamster form, start scrolling around, be an annoyance, be a pest, get away from the healing Mauga, and then you go back in when Cardiac's down. I definitely think it's a bit dangerous here. Nice Suzu on the backside of that full spawn here, not away into the backside. Chicharron's 1 HP here, could get picked up now. Definitely very scary. There he goes. There goes Neko Neko. There's no supports now. Now it's a dangerous game. The other side, Kakyoy dead, Snotty dead. Freakiest in the 1v5. Stomp comes through. I don't hate not hitting him, truthfully. Just let him stay here. Yeah, this is the play. This is what I'm talking about. Stagger him as long as possible. Wait for the players to respawn and kill him right before Stomp cooldown comes back up. I think that's the way to go. You stagger him as long as possible, and now I don't think he makes it to the point, truthfully. You don't have a Lucio, so I don't see how the Mauga gets here.
Unless there, Juno flies over and gets on the hill. Hang on, wait. There is percentage. Hang on. Now, of course, Freakiest does have ultimate. Orbit does come out from Neko Neko. There's a bunch of things that are going to be flying out. We do have a ball ultimate coming up here, though, very shortly soon. It's going to have to be covered, but you're stuck in there. You're stuck if you're the Freakiest. Going to be able to fire it all away. Does not matter. I believe they're calling it. They're trying to call it here. Lancaster High are going to go game number 4, and they commit to it. Whew, looking a little bit scary if this second one had gotten capped, man.
But yeah, truthfully, I'm gonna wait till the fight's over to say this. I'm gonna make sure they actually get it.
No, I'm too flying too high.
When I first
the ball was
saw
right there.
Ball come flying in, and I saw them win that fight and get the capture, I mentally was 100% confident we were going to .5 and we were gonna see the sudden death for the series. But no, they get back. Mauga makes it in time. A nice touch by the Mei as Salmonberry will pick up the play of the game. Not a common play of the game character here. The Judo gonna get a little bit of screen time here. Gets 1, 2 with the ballistas, 3 credit with Doggo and the ball flying in there. Able to gun down Snotty Waddy. Nicely done there by Salmon. A little bit of credit there to the Juno. Not a character you see on the play of the game screen very often, but fair play to them. They get it here. Unfortunately, not able to win the map, of course, but we'll play to Lancaster. They stay alive in the series and they bring us to map 4.
Map number 4 here coming up very shortly, folks, and I'm excited to see it out. It is indeed push button. You know, I digged on the new game modes, but I actually, you know, push button I think is a little bit fun. You know, I think there's a lot of variety in there that you can have. It is that kind of mind game of fighting around one central area, and it's always that dang bot. But Coliseo or Esperanza, and I don't know. I like both of these maps, but I can imagine that Coliseo may be a preferred one. But what do you think? What do you tell me a little bit more about it, Colonel?
I definitely think this is interesting. So this spring season, right, I have casted Overwatch every week. In week 1, it was a 3-0 sweep. West Texas took down LHS. In week 2, it was a sweep. Centennial took down Central Union. Week 3, Division 1 was on their spring bait rake week, so we watched Division 2, which only goes to BO3, so we only saw 2 maps. And this is basically week 4, to my understanding. Week 4, week 5, obviously there was a bit of a gap week there last week in terms of being streamed, and this is the first time it hasn't been a sweep in the spring season. So this is actually going to be the first time we see map 4 on stream this season. Coliseo and Esperanza are the options. They're the same as I see in Collegiate. And my Collegiate team that I cast for absolutely sucks at Coliseo, and so I have horrible memories attached to Coliseo. We have had some rough showings on the map. We make so many mistakes, truthfully. Love the guys on that team, but Coliseo is not our map, and so I hate to see it, and so I'm shipping it that I want to go to Esperanza, but we'll wait and see what the map pick is going to be. Central Union, we're hoping to win map 3, so obviously not doing any what if we lose map choice prep here. Just going to take a second now. Obviously, not a problem at all. Coliseo, Esperanza, going to be the options to choose from for them. I think with their comp, truthfully, with what they've been playing, I actually think Coliseo is a better map pick unless they want to play the Diva. If they want to play the Diva, I think it's definitely go back to Esperanza, and they do go back to Esperanza, so I'm curious if they will be playing that Diva, or if they maybe just don't like Coliseo like I do.
Yeah, you never know. You never know, right? I mean, this is, of course, map number 4, and I mean, you could be a little bit nervous if you are, of course, that CUHS, right? You're still up by 1, but you never want to go even when you're up by 2. So if it's 2-2 game number 5, it's about that momentum, right? Lancaster has that momentum coming in, but they're not just quite there yet. They got to win this map number 4, which I think still leaves things absolutely competitive, and I think they're on an even playing level. And I don't know. I really, really hope to see some more competitive. And you know, I'll say it here, man. I want to go map 5. I mean, I would love to go map 5, right? I mean, this is gonna be nothing but pure chaos and fun if it's map 5, Colonel. And I'm hoping maybe if the players are listening, hopefully they're not, but if they are, hey, I would love a hazard to complete my bingo card. Give me a hat. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Don't play hazard. Do not play hazard right now. But like, if you do, I mean, you complete our bingo card.
Maybe just hover the hazard.
Just hover. We got our hover. We got our Reinhardt. We got practically everything at this point. We got our Doom. We're ready for it, man. And that's the variety. That's the type of thing that you need to have as a tank player, though, right? With that, it's variety in your pool to be able to play every single one of these characters, right? You can one trick a DPS character, you can one trick a healer or a support player, but I think as a tank, you just can't do it. Especially in nowadays, man. There's everything that you can get countered so easily. You just got to get ready to move on your feet.
And yeah, I was taking a peek here through the season records here. They do all get kept on that VHEL, on the VHEL website. So looking through the season so far, both of these teams have won or lost all of their games by game 4. So they're either 3-1 or 3-0s. And notably, in every instance for these two teams where it was a 3-1, they ended up losing that series. So neither of these teams have actually won push on the series. They've both gone to game 4 on one occasion where both teams ended up losing that matchup. CUHS lost to West Texas Kraken from XPL in round 3 of the season, and the side of Lancaster lost to XPL's AW Ghost last week in round 4 to that game number 4. So both teams have played push once this season, and both of them ended up being losses. So I'm definitely curious to see which of these teams will walk away with it. We'll either go to both of these teams' first game 5 of the season, which could definitely be interesting. The only other game 5 we've had this season was between AW Ghost and Centennial Cougars in week number 1. So definitely going to be a little bit interesting. Could see another game 5, but if we don't, Central Union will be able to take their first push win, as we will head into Esperanza here once again. Central Union here lead the series 2-1, but as proven on Flashpoint and really proven on both other game modes, LHS are not far behind, and they definitely can put up a good fight here to try and finish this reverse sweep.
Trying to finish it up. We'll see how we go into it once more, folks. That's right. We go game number 4. And hey, you know what? Again, not trying to catch curse, but we're hoping for a game 5. I would love to see it. I want to see some more competitiveness in the competitive. That's a word. It's a word. I'm saying it now. That's a word. But I want to see more competitiveness. And we will figure it out as the freakiest and not away. Of course, the tank picks are in D.Va and Rom, but we do see a character that I don't think we've seen yet this series. It is indeed an Emre coming in from Snotty Waddy, the new character that has come out this season. And what a strong character it is, right? Just to be basically that ADS in the back line, the grenades doing so much damage, frontline damage as well, the ultimate as well, something scary to be looking at.
And yeah, interestingly, I called it when they were picking the map. I said you'd only want to go to Esperanza if you're playing D.Va, and I definitely like this by them. The Doggo's a Wu Yang player. I can't really tell him to get off Wu Yang, obviously. I think the Lucio, if you're trying to play meta, you should be on the Lucio, but Comfort definitely going to reign supreme there. Wu Yang is the backup character when Lucio gets banned for a lot of those top-tier teams, so it's definitely fine to play here. It's what Doggo's the best at, and obviously very provably shown here. I'm curious to see how Vel does on the Soldier. Typically, you would see either the Sojourn or the Ombre by the other side here alongside the rest of this comp, but it's going to be the Soldier here. I definitely think this is very playable, and obviously it's off to a great start right now. Not away finds the opening kill on Kakyoi. Freakiest goes down as well as this Ramatra comp. Definitely going to struggle a little bit here. I'm curious to see if we will get some type of swap here within the first couple of fights, but for the moment, nope, we're swapping into Mauga against D.Va.
Ooh, I mean, that's maybe they're committing to it. I don't know. I mean, when I remember the last time this matchup had happened, right? I mean, Notaway didn't necessarily use the E as much as he probably should have on the Mauga, and maybe Freakiest had a little bit more confidence going into it, but this is still a scary thing to do, right? Especially for a Mauga, right? You got to back up very quickly, and the tanks in the back line already here. Notaway is trying to run it down, but the push bot is getting up to this front forward spawn here, and they're going to keep pushing it forward once more. That is the name of the game. SpartanWatch trying to end the game, and we're here in Call a Series, trying to go 3-1, and they're trying to respond back it up now.
And yeah, we'll see for the moment here, trying to charge forward now, 72.72 meters. They're going to keep pushing it past that, but it's a nice hold for the moment here. The Mauga able to run them back for a little bit here. Definitely a little bit curious to see if they will be able to hold on for the rest of this fight. D.Va, though, stays alive, and that's definitely one of the big jobs here. Obviously, you always want to stay alive, but D.Va especially need to keep that mech alive, where obviously technically have room if you don't, not away. Just trying to be harassing here, right? Keep everybody split up, be a pain wherever you can. Flies in, Chicharrones just gets blown up here by this D.Va. Protocol comes out here, the D.Va trying to block away the Ombre, but he's going to have a lot of free shooting time. There goes Salmonberry, there goes the main D.Va body, and they will be able to get a double kill there. Snotty Waddy. When you use this Ombre ultimate, the Protocol override, and you use it well, you are going to succeed. It's such a strong ultimate as Tracer trying to lurk on the back of the side here, going to be able to stay alive. Nobody's going back to get a TP spot for this Kiriko, so Drift actually could go for an execute play on Chicharrones here, trying to keep him toward his spawn, but Sojourn moves over, they get a teleport spot, and the Kitsu now on the front line. Wow! Freakiest just gets blown up. No shields.
Literally gone.
He just has an HP bar, and he gets torn through right there by the side of CUHS. They do lose their Tracer with the rest of the team trying to pick him off, but when you lose your Mauga, you are just going to get ran through. Kakyoi goes down, Chicharrones goes down. They do need to send somebody for the robot. Salmonberry will be the one to send on that task, but will be able to re-even that. I guess they don't have forward spawns yet, but we'll be able to get the robot back past half and then work to getting those forward spawns turned on once again. Bell, though, does get picked off a little bit late. I don't think they'll get the forward spawns with Mauga sprinting in here. I think Notaway really does just need to back up here, wait for the thrusters to run out. Cardiac comes in, defense matrix on cooldown a little bit, but we'll be able to block some of that damage, some of that healing here. But again, they are able to just stay slow, stay stable here. As Freakiest just gonna get blown up. The healers look away for a second, and that is what this Tracer has been doing. Drift is just making them turn around, and the tiniest error, the tiniest misplay in where you're looking, and your Mauga just gets blown up. So really nicely done by Central Union. They get the team kill, and they'll pass the 80-meter mark. We'll see how far they can get.
Keep trying to push it forward. We will see how far you go, Spartans. Keep pushing the wall forward. as they come back once more. Lancaster High really want to try to push it towards this game 5, but eating it away. But Tsengwe Kwikiki held inside, now away. Can't do much unless you're given every single thing from your team to blast it forward. Still alive in mech and lively as well. Gonna keep trying to eat away bullets, but you do lose Salmonberry while you're at it. Gonna have to back off now. There was so much committed there, but you're not able to win one, not even the reversal on it, and they're pushing the block straight on back. Lancaster High response.
And yeah, we'll see it here as well. Nice fight for them. They are able to get that robot back toward mid. Not going to get those forward spawns turned off before the respawns come through, of course. So it is going to be a nice reset here for everybody, VHEL included. He is able to get that forward spawn. Doggo, though, gets taken low here, trying to support Notaway, but now he's going to become the target here. He uses his movement ability, so now he is a sole target here, but Kakyoi goes down to Salmonberry on the front side. Really nice find there. Again, these supports have been on fire getting kills here. The Kyogos, especially the Kunai, does so much damage if you hit your shots. You're not going to get targeted. Orbital Ray comes down. It will be the ultimate coming out by the on-ray, but he gets gunned down in the air. VHEL now pops out his pack visor, but he dives to the Kiriko. They again have been on fire here, finding some key headshots to some key picks in crucial times. We'll see if it's enough to turn the fight. Chicharron stays alive with that swift step. D.Va able to re-target there. There goes Curie. There goes Mauga. And again, 4.5 minutes and 60-meter lead. Definitely favoring the CUHS 3-1 right now, but definitely time to work for it.
Pushed right back once again, and we're seeing it. It's like a pattern, almost back and forth they go. But if you're Lancaster, your time is only ticking slower and slower away, and the more they keep pushing this bot forward, the more progress that they can potentially get to end this game. It's only going to get farther and farther, right? So gotta be careful here, but we do see the rush coming in from Salmonberry. Now a lot of ultimates maybe potentially being used here for this front ward of things, but no, actually none of them are going to respond back. VHEL going to be able to gun down a couple players in the back, not away as well, taking 2 to 3 drifts, uses that pulse bomb on Chicharrones. You lose your heal, and that's also a little bit staggered, right? So they actually use ultimate right out of spawn, and it is Kakayoi. Can you find a pick or two? Nothing yet to avail, but you do lose your D.Va mech. Ultimate comes out, and in the backline of things, to do Lauga, but that's just lost immediately, and I don't know, that might have sealed your fate. If you lose your tank's ultimate, you lose your DPS's ultimate, you lose practically everything.
Yeah.
I don't think you're gonna be able to get there. Lancaster High loses it, and CUHS, the Spartans, take home the series 3-1 here.
And that was really good. He used the Mauga cage to block the D.Va bomb. That was really good, but unfortunately, he just doesn't have the support he needs, doesn't have the cooldowns to stay alive at the end, so does just die out in the cage fight here. As we will get the final play of the game here. It's going to be the D.Va trying to rain it down. Freakiest will get taken out. He bombs inside here, if I remember correctly. He gets taken out of the mech, pops the bomb down once that reset on it, and just runs him down with the pistol there. So, well done again to the side of CUHS. They will walk away with the win here. Obviously, Lancaster kept it close the majority of the series. Those first 3 maps really could have gone either way there, but at the end of the day, CUHS walks away with a good enough lead for that push, very in their favor to take it for the end of the series here. And again, congrats to the side of CUHS here as they walk away with their first push win of the series.
Yeah, that's a fun one right there, man. What a match it was, and this was indeed a fun series. But, I mean, if you do look at it, and you had said it yourself as well, both those beginning two maps could have gone either way. Any of these maps could have gone either way because both of these teams played absolutely amazing today. But, unfortunately, Lancaster just takes the short end of things, and Central Union High find it together, and they unionize and play well as a team, man. What a fantastic cast it was, and, hey, man, for my first one, I'm really happy to be up here on the desk with you, Colonel, man.
And yeah, definitely a lot of fun here. First time on stream, we've gotten to see a map number 4, so obviously a good time here to see a couple of newer game modes in terms of, I guess, release order. Push is a newer game mode compared to some of the classics like Hybrid or Escort, but obviously just going to be the first time we've got to see it on stream. But congrats again to CUHS, congrats to LHS, a good attempt today. Unfortunately, won't be able to take it down, but we'll have another couple of chances later on in the season to to try and get that win. They have NCA next week, where I think actually NCA have dropped their season, so I suppose they will win there, but Centennial as well at the end of the season. But for all of you viewers, thank you for joining us today. As always appreciate you all being here to come out and support all of our fantastic players here. Definitely keep an eye out later in the week. We should have some Valorant on Thursday. I should be back for that as well. But regardless, thank you everybody for joining, and we'll see you again next time.
Love ya.